What's up, Paul?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Paul, how many beads did you get last night?
Yeah.
Paul's in New Orleans.
Right.
Paul's
Yeah, I'm in New Orleans, and my voice may sound a little bit. No beats. No
What,
beats last night.
you're down there shooting commercials, huh?
Yeah, actually we are. We're down here shooting commercials. We were down here yesterday, and we're shooting today, and get home tomorrow.
What do you think of that law, Paul, where you can just walk from bar to bar with a drink in your hand? Isn't that great?
You know, it's the way it was meant to be. I think that's absolutely true. They shut the street off, and there's all kind. Yeah, it's it's a good one.
Do they have any sympathy for us in the Northeast regarding Sandy down there?
Yeah, I hear about it all the time. You know, and of course, you know, I try to tell them how devastating it was a year ago when Irene hit upstate. But they talk about it all the time. There's a lot of empathy, and quite frankly, they all seem to have a story too. Someone they know down there who's displaced.
Yeah.
Attorney Paul Harding joins us from Martin Harding and Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010. We wanted to get him on because this story, as Quinn mentioned, been around for a couple of weeks, but there's a guy who would pray at this particular church. This is here in New York.
Yeah.
His wife, I think, had cancer, and she beat it. She beat whatever disease he was praying about.
Yeah.
So in order to show his gratitude to the church for helping him and his wife get through this, he offered to, I think, wash their giant crucifix.
It's a marble crucifix. All this went down back in 2010, but this legal issue now is coming up because the guy had to have his leg amputated because the thing fell on him.
Yeah, crucifix falls, he gets his leg amputated, and now he's suing the Roman Catholic Church for $3 million. What do you think about this, Paul?
How much is a leg worth, Paul?
Yeah, the amount of the lawsuit certainly is not offensive. I mean, I saw the pictures, and he's got a full amputation from the knee down. You know, when you've got a case where you have someone who's volunteers and it's against the church, and boy, that's what makes the news, doesn't it? Because it kind of makes everybody kind of feel like, oh, geez, you volunteered, here you are, and you're kind of on a religious mission here, and now you bring a lawsuit, and it just has such a bad taint to it. What the rule is, if you subtract, you know, the Catholic Church in this, if you had your neighbor who came over and said, geez, Quinn, you know, you've got a problem with your chimney, do you mind if I go up there and repoint it and fix it? And you say, yeah, go ahead.
I better have umbrella coverage, right?
Well, if he goes up there, the only duty you'd have is to make sure that he's not unreasonably at harm, meaning you give him a ladder, and that ladder needs to be sufficient and not have broken rungs. You go up there, if you know you just touch one brick and it all comes tumbling down, now you're responsible. There's a huge assumption of the risk, as there is in this case.
Interesting. Will act of God play a role here?
No, I don't think it will. The act of God is generally when you have bad weather or you have a storm.
All right, so I'm confused. So who, by the way, just to get this out there, charitable foundations have paid for his medical bill.
Uh-huh.
So the $3 million, I guess, is for pain and suffering. So, but I'm confused. So who is the church going to have to pay for this, Paul?
They're going to pay something, and you've got a situation where he's got a huge amount of assumption of the risk. But as soon as they said to him, "Come on our property, clean this statue," they had a duty to make sure that it was secure and that it was generally safe. Now, there's real technical legal arguments that there's no notice that it was unsafe, as opposed to my example, when you send someone up your chimney, you can see the bricks are just ready to topple.
Yeah.
So it is possible. I think they're going to pay something on this. I think that I think there's a potential a jury would look at this and say you're getting nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You've assumed the risk. You volunteered. But the fact that you're a volunteer alone does not change the rules as if he was just walking to church on Sunday and this thing fell on.
Will the fact that, I don't know, will it even play into the discussion that he was initially praying for his wife's medical issues on the very same crucifix? I mean, will that have any kind of play here
That's
at all?
just a good part of the story, but probably nothing to do with the lawsuit, right?
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, I think as a trial lawyer, I think you would actually talk about that at trial. You want to depict a guy here who's genuine, who's faithful, and he's there for a reason. He's not a vandal. He wasn't there, pushing the thing over.
Right.
He's there for a reason, and then it fell on him. It's tricky. Obviously, that's what makes it a story. The oddity of the whole thing. He's there praying and thanking, and now he's missing a leg.
Would you bring up the eye for an eye thing? I mean, a leg for a life, that kind of thing?
Well, I would have to think about that. Yeah, you caught me kind of early here. And,
hey, you ask me. Anytime you need help with your cases, just go and ask me. I'm a thinker over here. All right, Paul.
Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010 or 1-800-LAW-1010.com. When are you coming back from New Orleans?
Oh, we'll be back tomorrow night.
All right, well, have fun tonight, okay?
Thanks, man.
I sure will. Thanks
Paul.
guys.
Quinn and Cantera.
The Bible's against it. God's against it. I'm against it.
Mornings
And if you've got any sense, you're against it.
on PYX 106.